Good evening, everyone. It is Thursday, and I'm so happy to be here on Coffee Chat with my sister girl, Carol Crockett. Hey, Carol.
Hey, sister, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful, doing wonderful.
Good. It's so good to be here again and to have our opportunity to talk and share. So I always look forward to our time together.
Yes, so
Well,
everybody, y'all come on in here. Come on in as we prepare to get started. We welcome you to Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith. And we have obstacles that our young people encounter each and every day. But my platform is designed to assist high school age and young adult males as they follow my basic principles in order to build their best lives, because I believe it is better to train early rather than to fix later. And hello, Jocelyn. Thank you for tuning in today. We have a great topic for you. We're going to be
mhm,
talking about your truth,
mm,
dependability, and believability.
wow. Great content tonight. So I'm looking forward to us getting started. And yeah, I see Jocelyn in. So we are you want to give them a few minutes and see who's going to come in?
Okay, we'll give them about a minute. You don't want
About a
to
minute.
penalize Jocelyn for being on time.
Okay, well, we will just go ahead and get started because, hey, time is one of those things that we want to talk to our young people about is being on time, right?
Right.
Well, I'm excited about our topic tonight. As always, Deborah, it's always great content when we're chatting. And so, like you said tonight, we're going to be looking at your truth, dependability, and believability. So we know that people often think about homes and cars and jewelry and boats and all those material things, right, as their prized possession. But all of those things are valuable and can cost millions of dollars. However, you must, and we all must, ask ourselves and ask yourself, um, you have to ask yourself, well, what about Harry Weinstein? What about Bill Cosby? What about Martha Stewart? And then of all of us know about R. Kelly, are all rich people. But how did that work for them? That's a good question. How did that work for them? And then not well, as we know, as we start looking at some of the things that has happened to them, we know it hasn't worked well. You see, those assets, all those things that they had, it didn't do much for them simply because they all have damaged their most prized asset. And I know you are wondering what could be more valuable than all of these things that we've talked about. Well, your name, their name, their name is really more valuable than all of those possessions that we named and that they had and all the fame that they have. So no matter what they do that's positive now, people will overlook and remember their wrongs, their blunders, and their sins. It's essential to protect your name. Your name is the most valuable thing that we can have. And it may be the only valuable thing you have, especially if you're young and have not accumulated much. And the Bible tells us too that your name is better, a good name is better than perfume. So I love what you talked about, Deborah, in the book in chapter 5. And I just want to read the foreword from that because I thought it was very, it's kind of where we want to go tonight. So your credibility is in that foreword that you wrote. And it says, what others say about you may be a myth. However, the person you are and who you show to others is so vital. Your truth, your dependability, and who others can believe in represent your character and your reputation. It is essential to build substantial credibility and to preserve it. It's one thing to build it, but we want to preserve it as well. And we just do not want to build all of this and not work on preserving it. So I love that in your forward on the book. So let's get into this conversation. Miss Deborah, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. Well, in your book, you talked about taking years to establish a good reputation, but you can blow it. Tell us what that means, or tell us about that. How does that happen?
Well, let me get started. Started here, but I want to welcome Dan, Agnes, Deacon Holmes, and Jocelyn again. Thank y'all for tuning in. But yeah, I have this saying: it takes 1 second to ruin a good reputation, while it takes blood, sweat, tears, and years to have one or to rebuild one.
Mm-hmm.
And see, that's important. Your reputation and your name is a privilege. That's an attribute that you have. And you don't just wake up one morning and somebody says, oh, she is the best person. She's dependable. She's this and she's that. It's something that you have to work at. You work at it, And when I talk about my young people, if they've been at home with their parents, they haven't had a time to be out in the world and do things. So the only thing that they have is their name. Oh, that's Carol's son. Right. That's Deborah's son. So they can just have their name.
Mm-hmm.
And, so they need to protect that by all means.
Mm-hmm.
And I meant to do some research, but I forgot and I didn't do it. But I was looking at something on TV and they talked about Jerome Bettis when he got his got into the Hall of Fame for playing football. But they said that he told a story about when his dad put him in the car and was ready to take him to college. And he told him, son, your name is Jerome Bettis. That's your name. Protect it. Take care of it. Don't go out there, acting a fool. Knowing your name. That's all you got. Right. So I'm sorry I missed that. But I love that because it is so true. Sometimes that's all you have is your name.
Right.
But as you get older, you have an opportunity to work at building a good reputation. So when someone says, hey, do you know Carol? Oh, yes, I know her. I love her to death. She is so dependable. She's a sweetheart. If she says something, it's the truth. It's not a rumor. But it takes a while for you to build that up. So, that's where I come from with that, because it is very, very important.
It is. It really is. And just like you say, your name will even go before you show up sometimes. So we do have to be careful in protecting, our name. And yeah, I used to tell my son the same thing. Honey, listen, don't mess up our name, okay? So we have to make sure that we're reminding our young people that your name and your reputation and what you do has so many consequences, good or bad, if you don't take care of that name. So let's go on into a few of these things that you said in the book. They are reputation breakers. And I think you kind of you're going to allude to about 7 of those that we're going to talk about tonight. But I looked at this and I said, well, the first 2 is lying and laziness. So talk to us about that lying, Deborah. Wow.
Hey, first of all, even the good book tells you about that. In Proverbs 6:16 through 19, it starts out, there are several things that the Lord hates and cannot tolerate. And he starts out with a proud look, and the second thing is a lying tongue. And he goes on with that. But that lying tongue, I'm with him on that one.
Ooh, Lordy, yes.
Say anything, but don't lie. You're going to get in trouble and they're going to come back. Just tell the truth. I just think that is so important to tell the truth. And my mom used to say, if you tell a lie, you'll steal. No, she said, tell a lie, you're cheating. If you cheat, you'll steal. So I don't know if it goes like that, but I'm like the Lord. I don't like that lying. So, you need to tell the truth. But once you get marked as a liar, That's how you remember. You know, do you know Sam? Sam. You know Sam live over there in the Oaks. Oh, you
Mm-hmm.
don't lie, boy. You know, they gonna remember you are a liar.
That's
So it
right.
just follows you.
Mm-hmm. And you know, a lying person can't be trusted either. So you're right. They're gonna remember you that you are as they say, a liar. You know, who wants to have that for a reputation that you can't be trusted? And my grandmother said the same thing. If you lie, if you cheat, you know what she say. If you rob, you steal, you a lie. I was like, and I'm like you. I don't know if that's the order it goes in. But they had those ways of letting us know that that lying is not the reputation you want to have following you or preceding you. So we want to make sure that we impress upon our young people. Just tell the truth. Tell the truth, because then people will be able to trust you. And even if you're gonna get, if you're gonna get as my kids say, a beat down, you might need to go and tell the truth, because it's gonna come back to hunt you.
Right.
Well, Deborah, that's the first L. Let's move from that lying tongue that you say that the Lord say he hates. Let's move into another L. And I really want you to talk about this one, Deborah, that laziness. Please share about this one, because that laziness can get us in trouble.
Yes, yes, yes. That laziness, because nothing is going to just drop out of the sky into your lap to give you your needs and your wants. You know, they say, well, God said he'll supply all your needs. Yes, he will. But he not just you just sitting there. You got to put in some effort as well. You know, he's not just going to give you stuff and you just sitting around laying on your mama couch. You done finished school. Well, you going to college, son? I don't know. I'm trying to make up my mind. Yeah, it's not gonna go to school. You need to get a job. Well, I don't know what I want to do. You're gonna get up out of here and do something. You know,
Right.
so you gotta go to school, you gotta work, you need to do something. And one thing I say, and I don't like lazy, whether you male or female, but it's one thing I really can't stand, and that's a lazy man. You know, but I'm like, okay, so you supposed to be providing for some family. You want a family, so what you gonna do when you get your family? How your kids gonna eat? How your wife gonna eat? She may work too, but it takes two incomes nowadays. What your family gonna do? If you're not gonna do anything, you just gonna be lazy and sorry. You don't want to work. You don't want to do nothing. Well, I can't find a job. Why you can't find a job? And people, I just don't understand people. But I know when I was working, it was this lady. She came as a temporary. It was the first day of work, and she came to me and she said, may I use the phone? And so I said, sure. So I want to call and check on my baby. I just had a baby 6 weeks ago, and my husband, he home watching it. Oh, I got mother in me wanted to say, you got a temporary job, you working, and he home keeping the baby. What's over there?
Something wrong with that picture, huh?
Right. So just like she could find a temporary job, to me, he could find a temporary job too.
Exactly. Exactly.
And things happen, but that seemed to be like a story that went on and on and on. But
right.
There's no need to be lazy.
No, not at all. And I love what you said in the book, because then you get a reputation, even with being lazy, that you are no good.
That's
You
right.
are no good. And I love that, because it's just like what you're saying. You ought to have some potential. You said that too. You can't see your potential if you have that no good reputation. All of you've earned that reputation of not being any good. So laziness is something that we want to make sure that we are telling the young people. You just can't live expecting people to do things for you all the time, or like you said, things that just fall in your lap, or you just expecting like you got this silver spoon in your mouth and you don't have to do anything else, because somebody had to work for that silver spoon that you got in your mouth.
You just entitled. You're
You're
not
entitled. That's right. You got this entitlement, and it is kind of sad. I'm like you. I got a son, you got sons, and you try to instill in them, child, you gonna have some babies and a wife, and you can't be sitting around here talking about mama, calling mama for this. No, mama can't do that one. So yeah, but those are good. I love those two L's. So let's go ahead and look at another L that I think is the number 3 that you talked about. And I can't wait to hear what you're gonna say on this one, Deborah, because this one bothers me sometimes with people who don't want to listen. So can you talk to us about listening? How listening is more essential than talking. And so just talk to us about that listening is more important than talking, because some people got that twisted.
Right. Well, I always say God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. That's because we're supposed to listen twice as much as we talk. And some people just run their mouths, and you run your mouths. And I almost say what my mama said, but she say, "You just talk too much. Yeah, you're not telling the truth. You just talking too much. You don't know what he's saying. Just running off at the mouth, And I know even Obama, he has a quote out about people, and somebody else had one too, until you open your mouth, if you just sitting there, you're looking at someone, you got a pleasant look on your face, like you're listening, they think, oh, this person is intelligent, they're listening, they're going to get this. Then you mess around and open your mouth. You're like, what the heck? They should have kept their mouth closed.
Absolutely. What they say, nobody knows how, ignorant or stupid or whatever you are until you open that mouth, right?
Right. So, you need to listen.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You need to listen. You're getting to where I was going to ask you a question about it, but go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So you need to listen because, a lot of times we don't, we need to constantly develop ourselves and learn, so we don't listen, and then we don't understand. We go off and do the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. And then when somebody asks you, well, why did you do that? Because that's what you said. No, that's not what I said. Mm-hmm. So you weren't really listening. You so in a hurry to have something to say back or to show that you know more than that person. So you're not even listening to them. And so then you go off half cocked, as they say, because you can really be listening.
Yeah, and you're right, they don't. But one thing you said too in your book is like people don't like getting involved with that under not listening, a know-it-all person. Mm-hmm. You talked about that, and someone who's highly intelligent, but you come off as a know-it-all, and that goes back to what you're saying about listening, and like you said, your mom or grandmom said, just running that mouth all the time. But people don't want to help people sometimes too if they act like they already know it all, and they come off like this person that got all, don't need any help. So that can be a bad reputation too. And like you said, getting half of the information and running with it, and not really being able to even tell somebody else what they said because you were just listening. And Deborah, that not only happens with our young people, but some of our adult people it happens with as well.
Yes.
So yes, two ears and 1 mouth. That's why God gave them to us, right?
Right. Well, it's bad when you a lot of times when you are trying to help people, it said, like if you're in leadership and so you're trying to help someone else, but then they don't want to listen. Well, she's so old. She's been doing that forever. Why should I listen to her? I know, I just got out of college, blah, 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 blah. And so they don't want to listen to you. And you try to tell them, well, I noticed that when you come in, you set up, but then you walk away. And, I would suggest that you don't leave your sign-in table vacant, because you never know who's going to come early. And although your service may begin at 9:30, if the service begins at 9:30, people have to bring their children back before 9:30 because they want to be in their seats at 9:30. I don't know why. I don't understand. Okay, and then the first time something happens because somebody don't have something wrong with them too. But somebody bring that child back there. Nobody's at the table, and they just leave the child back there.
Wow.
You know, like, so something's wrong with that as well. But I tried to tell you because I'm trying to show you something, but because I'm older, you just got out of college, you think I don't know what I'm talking about.
Right, right.
So so that goes back to you don't want to listen. And so
And
it's not
discounting.
me, right? So it's not me that's gonna get the bad reputation. It's you.
It's you, right? And discounting that wisdom that's available to assist them. So yeah, that talking too much and not listening can be a really bad. I mean, can in the long run, when you're still on the job and they're not there because of the very thing you're trying to talk to them about, can really become a problem.
Right.
So, well, let's move on to, I tell you, we got 7 hot ones tonight, y'all. So I'm excited about hearing about all, but thank you for that. All of those first 3 that we have to really look at: the lying, the laziness, and not listening. So let's go on to the 4th one, where you said this is a 4th reputation breaker: stealing. Stealing. Oh, I'm telling you, and I'm not surprised that this one is on the list. But you know what? Let's just delve into that, because I think I wrote what you said your grandmother said: if you stealing, you're lying, and then you're dealing underhanded. So all of that goes together. So talk to us a little bit about that. That's stealing.
Well, I say it's better to train early rather than try to fix later. So, sometimes people think things that children do, oh, that's just so cute. There's nothing that they do that's wrong. That's cute. It's not cute. So you have a child and they take something, you don't just, oh, well, don't do that again. No, you show them, no, you're going to take that right back where you got it from, because you have to pay for that. You have to show them. You can't just tell them. You have to show them that's not right. But again, why did they think that was okay? Did they see you stick something in your pocket?
Oh, wow.
So you can't do one thing and tell them that to do something totally different. And it gets bad, and we're talking about your reputation. But
Right.
Once somebody's a thief, I got a cousin that's a thief. Well, you don't care if it's your mom, your dad, your cousin, your brother, your sister. If they're a thief, you don't want no thief in your house. So you get somebody in your house, you think, oh, that's my family member. They ain't gonna steal my stuff. You go in there, why my ring missing? Why?
Oh my.
So you can't, that's just wrong. And then so once, so if I, have that person and they're with me and you say, oh, I'm having some friends over you, and they standing there, oh, you're welcome to come too. I say, Carol, I didn't want to say it right then, but you invite them, I'm gonna let you know they steal.
Right.
Oh, Deborah talking about her people. Yes, because that's not
telling the truth.
You gonna say Deborah cousin came over there and stole something.
Then that is so true. That is so true. And like you said, sometimes we don't think about those little bitty things that we take or still. You said, have the child seen the parents doing things like that. But I know I was really so convicted, about. I love ink pens, but I have to watch myself, because I just walk away with folks' ink pens sometimes. And so I was so convicted about that. So I try to be, you try to be careful about those little bitty things that we think is no big deal. But, when you start looking at it and really delving into this stealing, those little bitty things that I'm just going to use the office paper and run off my church stuff or whatever. Well, that to me is, I may not think my son was looking at that, but that's a possibility. You know what I mean? So we really have to be careful as adults what messages we're sending, because our children are looking at us as well. So yeah, I knew that stealing was going to be really one, and that is a reputation breaker, because like you said, if somebody who wants somebody in their home, if you got to keep your purse under your shoulder and walk around with everything locked down. That's not a free, that's not a happy setting. If you have to live like that because that somebody's there that's going to steal. Well, all right. Well, anything else on those you want to add before we move on to the big number 5 breaker?
Well, I do want to say, when someone steals something from you, you feel violated. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because they just, I don't know. It's just, to me, that's just too personal.
It is.
And people, it's different kind of thefts where somebody can rob you and take something from you. Or like I say, it can be someone you know. Or even like it when I work, people will actually go in the refrigerator. Now, the company is nice enough on every floor. They put these huge refrigerators. Why are you going to bother with somebody's lunch?
Wow. That's
silly. Because if you're hungry, all you got to do is ask me. I'll buy you some lunch. Don't take my food.
Wow. That's one of those other ones that people might not think anything about it, but that's, and once you get that they figure out it's you taking the food, you got a reputation there to deal with, huh?
Right.
You stealing folks' food. So yeah, it's so many ways we have to be very, very careful of what messages we're sending out to other people, and that could really affect your reputation. Well, let's go on, Miss Deborah, to reputation breaker number 5. What do you mean by no urgency? Would you explain that to us and how it impacts credibility?
Well, urgency comes in a couple different ways. You say somebody just not urgent, they just don't. Nothing phases them. They just like they're in la la land, say, okay, well, like RSVP. Okay, I know it's a little French word, whatever, but that has been around for as long as I can remember. And it's not that somebody's trying to be fancy or bougie. They need to know if I'm having an event, I don't care if it's a barbecue, if it's a birthday party, if it's just a brunch, what it is. I need to know how many people to expect so I know how much food to prepare. Or how much room I need. Do I need to borrow some chairs? So people will not RSVP.
They don't.
And you look and then they show up. Like, okay, so good thing I cooked some extra food, but what makes you think it's okay that you don't respond? If you were having something, you asked me to respond, would you like me to respond? Would you like me to just show up? Or that they'll do that, or either they'll come and they bring 4 or 5 people with them. You say, you tell me you can bring all the people? Now, normally I do okay because I don't know how to cook a little bit, so we usually have extra. But that's just me. But this is something that pertains to everybody. Right. So, when I say RSVP, you can say, hey, I'm bringing 6 people with me. Is that okay? I got some company in town. Oh, no problem. I don't care. We love to entertain, but I need to know how many people cook for.
Right.
So, and then some people, they do that, and then they late for everything. Why are you late for everything? Why? There's no urgency about you anywhere.
Oh, I never thought about that.
My friend Peggy. Hey, Peggy doing much better. I love Peggy to death, but Peggy didn't tell you I'm just late for everything. But she don't know why. She's doing better. Every year she gets a little bit better. But you have to be on time. Because and my husband, he just gets on to me. Because I'm always gonna be early. I'm like, I'm gonna be early. So if I gotta be to the doctors and it take me 30 minutes to get there, I'm gonna give myself an hour. Because I don't know how the traffic gonna be. I don't know if somebody's gonna have an accident. If I'm gonna forget something, have to turn around and come back. So I'm not gonna be the cause of somebody else, their day being messed up because I was late. So I try to be time.
So you kind of plan for the unexpected when you, like you say, when you're going to the doctor, because you said that in the book that if I'm the first patient and I don't care what time I get there and I show up, then everybody else is suffering
All right.
because I made a decision to be late. And so I really did like what you say in that about the tardiness as well, where people don't respect your time and they show up like the same thing. They don't respect your time, and to you said this in the book, they don't even respect you because they don't really care about being late, and like you say, the RSVPing, but the tardiness and all of those things. So I had a friend like that too, and I was like, you really don't care about me if you don't care about what time you show up, or I can't depend upon you. So that RSVP and being tardy, when you said you're gonna talk about that in the book, I was like, oh my God, help us with that. And then the RSVP too. What do you think about those people that don't RSVP to the very last minute? Like you say, there's no urgency in it, and they RSVP the day before. Now, what
The
kind of
day
stuff is
before,
that?
the day of.
The
Girl,
day of.
I know
The
it's.
day of.
I know you had said respond 2 weeks ago, but girl, you know I was coming. No, I didn't.
I had no idea. Mm-hmm.
I know I didn't. I never know what somebody else. I mean, you might be somebody that when I have something, yes, you want to come because you're gonna have fun, we're gonna enjoy and have fellowship. But that doesn't mean I'm having something on a day that you got something else to do. I don't know who's coming and who's not,
Right. Mm-hmm.
And but you gotta care. And that's just like if somebody say, well, Deborah, I'm gonna pick you up at I'll say 3:00. At 2:55, I got my purse and everything sitting close to the door. I'm standing close to the door. So when I see them driving up, they ain't gonna have to blow or nothing. I'm gonna be walking out. Because that's not fair for somebody gonna give you a ride and then they got to wait on you. Girl, I'm coming. I'm driving. Okay, but 5 minutes. When she in that doing, she must be there. If I've been here 15 minutes, did she just get up when I drove up? What? Oh my goodness! And me, I don't have that much patience. I'd be out there like, oh my goodness, whoa, my goodness. Now I told her what them was coming. What they
doing? Yeah. And it's irritating when you know your own time, and like you say, when they said, hold on girl, I'll be there in a minute, just a minute, but a minute is 15 minutes. Oh my God. Yeah, that being on time, and that that urgency and that tardiness, not being considerate of the other people at all. And so I think those are great topics. So here's another big one. Hot-tempered. That hot-tempered. Oh, Lordy, please talk to us about those people who are hot-tempered and how that can really destroy your reputation. Relationships too, but reputation as well.
Yeah, because because again, we're talking about ruining your reputation.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a hot temper. You never know what type of trouble that's going to get you into. I don't care if you're in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, young adult, senior. And when I say senior, I mean Medicare senior. You don't know, what can happen that'll get you in trouble. And all this road rage. We had an incident here in Jacksonville last week where I don't know what the road rage was, but it was some road rage. Someone shot someone. Then everybody in that neighborhood had to sequester themselves because they didn't want them to come out because they were looking for the person that did the shooting. Okay, What did somebody do so bad that you had to shoot them? So, because most times when now a lot of people do drive fast or whatever, but a lot of times if somebody maybe, pull in front of you, they have on that signal light because they might have been saying, I'm trying to get over, and they think you're going to be courteous. You get mad. Why you get mad? And all of this. You get in trouble for that. You get in trouble and hit somebody in their face. They fall down and hit their head and die. You can go to jail. Where your reputation gone? Somebody asks
Mm-hmm.
your son, "Where's your dad?" He gone away. So now you're making your child lie. You know, it's a vicious circle. All these things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you get yourself in trouble, but you have to stop, take a breath.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
We just get ourselves in trouble with these hot tempers. You so mad, you say things out of your mouth that you did mean them, because if you didn't, they wouldn't come out of your mouth.
So they did mean it, right?
They meant it, but if you had time to think about it, though, you would just kept it in there. You wouldn't have let it come out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that person would still be your friend, or you wouldn't get in a fight. We had someone, this was some years ago, these people got in argument at a gas station.
Oh my. Mm-hmm.
And then the one person, I don't know who left the station first, but when the one person, they weren't a half a mile from the getting on the main highway. Well, someone, and I'm saying they probably just shot at them, didn't mean to shoot them, just to say, I'm mad, you made me mad. Well, they accidentally shot and killed that person.
Oh my. Mm-hmm.
So your hot temper, you got caught.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You left and fled, but people gonna tell. So you got caught, but that happened at the service station. You could have let that stay there. Yeah, you were mad. People do things to me all the time to make me angry, but it's like, okay, because I need to be around for my grandkids. I don't have time for you to be shooting me because you mad. Because I got mad and said something, and you had to shoot me. Because people don't mind shooting you nowadays. So you get mad, you say something. So you either gonna take it to a level where you're gonna go back and forth with someone, and you're gonna do something that you're gonna regret later, or somebody's gonna do something to you, and it's not worth it. That's a reputation breaker. So either somebody's gonna see you acting a fool, and you get in the church leading the choir, or they're preaching. Did you, child? I ain't paying him no attention today. Because he up there, I saw him cuss the lady outside.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm.
You got to watch what you do. So you're running your reputation off. You accidentally, because you're angry and you hit someone, they die or whatever. It's not that you're a bad person or you would have killed someone on purpose, but accidents do happen. Then you ruin your life. Like I say, you got to go to prison for that if you did that and then you were wrong. And then you are impacting not only yourself, your reputation, and your family's reputation. So, it's a whole lot.
And like you say, it's really hard to repair those things once you've done that. I'm reminded, I think in the word it says, that, and now this one made me kind of look at my hot temper once, because the Bible says that, what is it? The anger rests in the bosom of a fool, or the hot tempered or whatever, that it rests in the bosom of a fool. And I was like, oh, a quick tempered person can act foolishly. And he warns us that anger lies in the bosom. One translation said, or the lap of a fool. And I said, oh my God. And you're absolutely right. We have to be careful of that. Like you say, you done act crazy and been out there cussing folks out, and then you be singing in the choir. So that ruins your reputation, but it also ruins your witness as well. So,
all right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, these have been some great ones to for us to think about, and for us to, talk to our young people about how they can ruin their reputation. And like you said, at this young age, that's all you really have is your name. And so you want to preserve it, as you said in the beginning, you want to preserve it and protect it the best way you can, because like you said, it's hard to repair it once you mess it up.
Yes.
So, but you talked a little bit about, tell everyone how this, all of these can ruin your credibility. It would all the ones we've talked about could ruin your credibility.
Right. So I mean, those because all those things are, like I said, you can either You can be put in jail if you harm someone in some type way, or hot temper. Hot temper can get you in a lot of trouble. You out with a girl, and she, might let you kiss and rub, and she say no. You get mad. Well, why you let me? And then you do something that you shouldn't do. Okay, no means no. I don't care what she let you do. When she said no, that was the end of the conversation. So then, so here we go. That's another reputation breaker. So you are ruining your reputation. All these things that you do that you're not supposed to do. You are impacting your life. Like I said, your reputation can be gone like that. You on the rise to be the next Michael Jordan, but you go out and this young lady, she gets pregnant. Well, you told me I didn't have to worry about anything. I don't want any kids because she's not the main one. You got somebody else on the side. You get somebody to kill her. Okay, so there is just so many different things that can happen. Verbal abuse, physical abuse, anything that you do while this temper is going, you just mad, you upset because somebody did what you wanted them to do, or how you wanted them to do it, when, or whatever, and you didn't think. You are ruining your name, your reputation, your credibility. That's it.
And yeah, like you said, it certainly can ruin your reputation and your credibility. And you have given us some great things for people to think about. And I love what you said to them lastly, is because, if no means no, and don't get yourself in trouble when somebody says no to you, because that, like you said, that can get our young people, our young men in a lot of trouble when they don't accept the no. If she says no, it means no. So you need to, move on out the way. But we certainly do not want to work hard, because we don't want, you don't work hard for a good name. And I think about athletes, you work hard to, to get in college, and you've done everything you need to do, and then you get somewhere, and then you allow that to happen. So, you ruin your reputation, you ruin somewhat of your career and things of that nature. Because sometimes, like you said, we don't get that second chance always. So it's better to protect where you are, because and like you said, it can happen so quickly. Like you say, that temper, or just not thinking about it, and you look up and you've done something that's just going to mess your life up. Your reputation and your life is on the line as well. So, but these are great things for our young people to think about. And like I said, you've given us a lot of things to consider, even as adults, to consider how we can, protect our reputation, protect our credibility, protect our believability. All those things are so important. And then not reliable. This is the last one. Not being reliable is our last reputation breaker. So kind of talk to us about a person who is not reliable.
Well, a person that's not reliable to me can come in different forms, but say your children can't depend on you. They're in sports, they're in dance, you don't show up for their activities, or you don't take them to their rehearsals. But if someone who's in charge says, oh, well, your child can't participate, well, why? Or because they only attended one rehearsal. Well, they was at one. Well, you can't do that. See, we going back to having a hot temper. But, you put your children in that activity. So it is your responsibility to ensure that they are there. But you're letting them down. You're not being reliable as far as your children are concerned if you don't do what you need to do. If you are in school, you don't turn in an assignment, you're not being reliable. What did you do it for if you're not going to turn it in? If you're old enough to take yourself to practice and you don't, show up to practice, it's like you say your son is coaching. Those individuals have responsibilities. They're in a team sport. Exactly. One person can, mess up everybody. You got one of the main positions, and you don't want to practice. And then
Mm-hmm.
you want to be out there to star when you get ready to play the game. That's not fair. You
It's
know,
not.
you're
Mm-mm.
not reliable.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
promise someone you take them somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take you to the doctor's, no problem. I'll take you this place, that place. Then you just don't show up, or you show up late. If they were going to the doctor, nobody wants to go to the doctor just to be going. But you told them that
Exactly.
you were going to take them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, that could cause death or anything, because suppose that they, were having some issues. Well, I know I'm just having problems breathing. It's probably not much, but I made an appointment. Can you take me?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You don't take them, and then you find out it was something that was very serious, and it causes them, to get worse, or they could lose their lives because you're not
Mm-hmm.
reliable. You don't have to say yes to things. You can tell people no.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it's something that you can't do, you don't want to do, you don't have time to do. So, I would love to help you out. However, I can't do that. Then they'll find someone else. But don't promise someone.
Wow.
They say, well, I didn't promise. I just said I'd do it. Well, if you said that you would do it, you're making a promise. They're
Mm-hmm.
looking for you to do what you said you would do.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not reliable, and you're hurting yourself, because they go to liar. You're not reliable. Either you're late, you don't show up. You fall into all kind of categories.
Mm-hmm.
But you're
Mm-hmm.
showing your real character. So that is your reputation. So you might say, well, I didn't do, some of them other things that people did, but it's just as bad. It's just as bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it is. So you're so right in that, like you said, all of these have been reputation breakers, and so we want to live in a level above that, and even this last one you talked about not being reliable and somebody waiting on you to go to the doctor, but they kind of all kind of intertwine a little bit with each other. You're lying, you cheat, cheating, you're stealing, you're not dependable, you're not believable, you're hot tempered, you're not no urgency in your life. You just, to me, it's just kind of like you think this world exists only for you, and you have no consideration for other people. And like Coach always tell us, if you think, we can't live in this world isolated, and we need other people, just like other people may need us. But it's important that we are truthful. It's important that we are dependable, and it's so important that people can believe what we say. We're believable, because all of that will follow you, and it takes, like you say, forever to work those kind of reputations down, if you will ever work it and where it's not following you. It's going to take a lot of work. That's what I tell people. When you lose trust in people, when that trust is gone, that's one of the hardest things to rebuild, because like you say, lying, not dependable, no, bad reputation, hot temper, all of those are a part of you having to build your trust and build that trust up in someone. So, but your words and your actions will follow you if you are not reliable person. It's your words and your action, they both go together. So you have to make sure you're, as we say in church, you're talking the talk, but you're walking the walk as well. So, well, this has been great conversation, Miss Deborah, and I always love our chats. So I know you got some last minute closing for us, but I just want to give you one of my big takeaways about that tardiness. I loved that you talked about people who don't take that in consideration. The urgency, the RSVP is what you had in the book, and we don't take that urgency for granted. I mean, we don't look at other people as how we're putting them out. And then the stealing, when you talked about stealing, you said that some kids do try stealing because it's a dare. It's trying to see if they can get away with it. But when you get caught stealing, that reputation of taking a chance, getting locked up and a record and probation, all of those things are consequences that we don't usually sometimes think about. But these have been some great things for us to look at as far as reputation breakers and our credibility, because those are things like we said in the beginning, R. Kelly and Martha Stewart and all those people right now, their reputation is somewhat, ruined or scarred or something, because they had all these outer things, but a good reputation is what they didn't cover very well.
Right.
Okay. Well, back to you, Miss Deborah.
Well, thank you so much. That was a good conversation. I thank everybody that tuned in. Make sure you share this with someone. And next month, we'll talk about some things that will help you to keep your reputation. So, not just going to be on the negative side.
Yeah.
All right. Before we go, Miss Carol, I know you're always talking about the power of words, and you're doing some other things. You want to tell everyone how to follow you?
Well, you can follow me at Carol Crockett on Facebook with the power of words. I truly believe that what we articulate, we activate into our lives. So we have to be very, very careful of those things, those careless words, those things that we say in a temper tantrum, those things that we say to lie to get out of those things. But those are things that we activate in our lives. So if you don't want to activate lying, don't lie, right?
Right.
And so I am also on with Miss Deborah. I join her as a co-host on on Monday nights. I'm the third Monday. She's the fourth Monday, where we are working together with Coach Ricardo on a radio show, and his radio show, Effective Living. And I'd love for you to tune in. I'm going to have my family on the third Monday. We're going to be talking about it's a family affair and it's gratitude. So of course, I always look forward to you, Miss Deborah, on our time together on the second Thursday. And I don't know if we should share about some upcoming things that we're going to be doing in December together, but I'm so excited about the avenues that God is opening up, and just being able to share some things that God has shared with me. So I'm excited about those things.
Great job. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's okay to mention we launched last quarter, and our next venue is going to be Saturday, December 18th, and that's what is it? Pearls for Chucks. What is
Chucks and Earls.
Pearls.
We're gonna do the Pearls and Chucks and Earls, I think, right?
Chucks for Pearls and
Chucks
Earls.
for Pearls for girls.
Chucks
okay, we're gonna get it right.
Yeah, Chucks for Pearls and Earls, and it is Carol Crockett, Anastasia Smith, and Anita Cummings, and myself. We'll be back on December 18th.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to tune in, check us out. And as Carol said, I will be on Effective Living Radio Show on the fourth Monday, and that's from 7 to 9 Central Time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And as well, I'm on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on Facebook and YouTube on Be Your Best Life. And if you visit my website, which is www.buildyourbestlife.org, you can follow me, and that's the best way to get everything that I'm doing and see by following my calendar of events. And you can see my web store, where you can see the services that I offer, and you can get autographed copy of my book, Build Your Best Life.
Got mine's up too. I hope you can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And we're going to have some special, something special as well on later on in the day on December 18th. And I'll tell you more about that. But it's the event, hoping to have some other guests. And, it's Christmas shopping time. So we're going to have some guests on talking about some gifts that you can do without stepping outside your house.
Ooh, that should be wonderful, huh?
Yes. So this month, my theme is give thanks. And so Saturday, the 13th, my topic is grateful versus thankful. Grateful versus thankful. And then every year I have a grateful event. This year it is an attitude of gratitude with Deborah and friends. So that's going to start Monday, the 15th, and it's going to run every night through Thursday, the 18th. I got some fantastic guests that are coming on and some surprises as well. So you don't want to miss any part of this. But on Monday night, the 15th, we're going to have Billy Johnson from Dallas, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
On Tuesday, we're going to have Minister Shaquille Hannah from Nassau, Bahamas.
Oh, wow.
Wednesday, we're going to have Elder Joseph Levette from Jacksonville, Florida. And closing us out on the Thursday, the 18th, we have Coach Ricardo Miller.
Wow.
From Texas. So we're going to have some great speakers. And like I said, we're going to have some surprises on. So you want to tune in at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Thursday of next week. I cannot wait.
I'm excited too, Deborah.
So please, please, please join us. If you can't join us on those different days, you can always go back and look at the videos. They remain on my pages, YouTube and Facebook. So make sure that you partake. And I thank you so much again for tuning in. I think I didn't get a chance to say a shout out to my friend Peggy, who's on here. And then I saw Randall Moore join us as well. So thank you all for tuning in. And as always, as you travel on your road to being a better you, there will be distractions, pitfall, rough terrain, and detours. But don't let any of those negative aspects of your journey stop you. Though they may slow you down, keep going to be a better you so that you can build your best life. And remember, building your best life is our business. And that's not a slogan, it's our commitment. Thank you. I love you. Be blessed, be safe, and I will see you Saturday and next week. Bye, Carol. I'll see you.
Bye-bye. See you later, friend.
All right. Have a good evening.
Yes.